Very happy to see you. Maybe you can come a little bit to the front as we're not that many people. Maybe it will be easier if you come closer to us so that we can feel cozier and more comfortable, and we don't shout. We don't need to speak louder. Thank you. We are very happy to see you. We are honored to be with you and deliver this talk. I'm sitting next to Mr. Svetlozar Zhelev, who is the director of the National Book Center in Bulgaria, but not only. He's an emblematic figure for our international Bulgarian diplomatic relations and has been working for more than 2 decades to promote Bulgarian literature abroad. He's the founder of the Elizabeth Kostova Foundation in Bulgaria, who is a key organization for the promotion of our literature in the Anglophone world market and readership. He's also teaching at Sofia University at one of the master's degree programs, translator editing programs. He's a radio journalist, a literary reviewer, many hats to combine here. So I was very happy and honored to invite him to this conversation. My modest persona is running a literary agency from Bulgaria, Sofia Literary Agency, that has been on the market for 5 years now. And I'm working mainly with Janet 45 Publishing House, who are the founders of this agency. We represent authors in the field of fiction, non-fiction, poetry, children's books, and are up to now responsible for more than 2 titles published or in the works in more than 30 languages all over the world. Also, we do the Sofia International Literary Fellowship during the Christmas Book Fair in Sofia. And that's it, more or less. We're happy to see finally the first results, the first tangible, visible presence of Bulgaria as a guest of honor. We haven't been a guest of honor for more than 20 years. And this is a short presentation we are going to deliver in order to give you an overview about what has been happening in our market, in our literary landscape. I'm going to start with very short facts and figures. As I see the audience here, maybe I will skip some part because maybe you don't need a map of Bulgaria and our neighboring countries. But very briefly, we are located in the Eastern Balkans. The country was founded, the official start of Bulgaria was 681. The area of the country is 110,000 kilometers, and our population amounts to nearly 7 million people, as half of them inhabit the capital of Bulgaria, which is Sofia. We use, for our language, we use the Cyrillic alphabet, which is on the screen, which belongs to the South Slavic group of languages, except for the Bulgarians. As a nationality, we are also inhabited by Turks, North Macedonians, Armenians, Greeks, Romanians, Roma people, and Russians. We have also welcomed a lot of Ukrainian citizens lately throughout the last years, as our history, which is also inevitably part of our cultural and literary background, involves a few main events. As we were 5 centuries, we were part of the Ottoman Empire, and in the late 19th century, we established the new Bulgarian state, the new Bulgarian country, as the Bulgarians gained their independence at that time. From then on, we were part of the Soviet Union until the late 20th century, right after the end of the Cold War, the fall of the Berlin Wall, war and the wall. We already became the democratic country we are since the 90s of the last century. In 2004, we became members of NATO, and we joined the European Union in 2007. What is important for us after this historic fact and figure overview is that geographically, and not only geographically, we have always been a mix of East and West, and this is tangible. This is seen in our literature. It's seen in our culture, our music, our religious heritage, our architecture. As we also have a lot of Muslims living in Bulgaria. Geographically and again populationally, Sofia is a city three times bigger in terms of inhabitants than other major towns like Plovdiv and Varna. We jump directly to the facts and figures from the book market. The latest statistics we updated with Mr. Zhelev last week, provided by the National Statistics Institute of Bulgaria, is that we expect to reach an annual revenue by the publishing by over 240 million euros by the end of this year. In terms of publishing houses, the actively operating publishing houses, we have more than 200. And they print thousands of new titles every year. The active 200, however, are just a part of the officially registered publishers who are 1,400. Not of them that active. The largest publishers in production, some of them you can meet in the fellowship. Here are Colibri, Hermes, and Ciela. I've put those three names because they operate mainly in the field of fiction, non-fiction, educational literature. Prosveta Sofia AD, which also has a few imprints, is one of the oldest publishing houses on the Balkans, and they deal mainly with educational and legal titles. We have nearly 600 bookstores around the country, as we have an increase of bookstore openings of 6% from 2024 until this year. 400 of them are owned, meaning that they're not part of bookstore chains. The major chains in Bulgaria of bookstores are Helicon, Siewa, Hermes. I can also mention Orange, Book Trading, Greenwich. As Helicon, Siewa, and Hermes are mainly operating in the whole country, in all towns. Officially, the National Statistics Institute of Bulgaria states that we publish approximately 8,500 titles per year. An average print run for the Bulgarians consists of 700 to 800 copies, if it sells well in the first months. It gets bigger, or we have a second one. In 2024...
I just want to interrupt with something other which is very important, because you can see these figures, let's say, between 500 and 700 or 800. But we have titles of Bulgarian authors with 200,000 sellings, which is now actually the bigger sellings than books like Harry Potter or John Grisham or even Dan Brown. Yeah, sorry.
I was thinking about, okay. We had a post-pandemic increase in retail, especially and specifically only in paperback, hardcover copies. As 2025, the end of 2025, it began to decrease again. 2026 has been a difficult year for us. We'll see what comes next. We were never good in e-books, in selling e-books, I believe. Audio is growing. Storytel is getting bigger and bigger share of the market, which is good news for now. The average book price, as it's getting higher, I wrote that 2 weeks ago, and I can tell that it's getting higher now because we are dealing with inflation.
Yeah, and maybe something other special from the 1st of January, member of Eurozone. And because of this, it's really changed, let's say, the market, the inflation, and the prices.
By the end of 2025, we could be proud of a hardcover copy or paperback, approximately 12 to 13 and 7 to 8 euros. An ebook usually 5 to 4 euros, but now we'll see what's next, what comes next. When it comes to the shares of how we publish and what we publish, the translated titles from foreign languages, from the so-called big languages, English, Spanish, German, French, comprise nearly 75% of the market. As with the breakdown, you see the figures. I'm not going to quote all of them. The Bulgarian, the local titles, the locally generated, mainly contemporary authors and illustrators, comprise 26% of the overall publications. When it comes to law, to author protection, we have the general rule of 70 years after the author has deceased. The ownership is still a matter of copyright management. The main distribution and sales channels for our publishing market still rely on the physical bookstores, online websites for books, book corners, or direct publishing sales. They can be own websites, but by direct publisher sales, we also quote here the book markets and the book fair events, also the festivals, but we are getting back to this very soon.
Could I interrupt you again? Because it's something important because of the legislations. We don't have fixed price on books,
Oh, yes.
which is very, as you know, important for the distribution. A lot of Bulgarian book publishers via internet sites that they have or via bookshops give a huge promotions of the books on the prices, like 30%, which is really infect the market. And it's something important. Of course, we have this conversation on the fixed price or things like this, but it's still in our legislation, we don't have fixed price.
And it's you with the literary awards, so you can, yeah, literary awards are yours.
Right. I'm one of the people who really like literary awards because there is a lot of people who said there is too much awards, you know, and I'm absolutely not with this. I'm sure that there is not enough literary awards because this is the biggest and the most important possibility to put the books, the good titles in the spotlight. You know, in this ocean of titles, you saw it's 8,000 titles every year. We have more than pretty much near 2,000 Bulgarian titles. It's absolutely impossible to reach the good books between them. Of course, we have a problem with the critics, which is not working very well as pretty much all over the world. And because of this, the prices are so important. And it's both for inside Bulgaria and for outside Bulgaria, for the publishers outside. How to reach which Bulgarian book to or author to read, to find, and to be interested in. And our biggest prizes, of course, I will start with our national prize, which is given by the Ministry of Culture and the municipality of Plovdiv, because actually municipality of Plovdiv first organized this, founded this prize, but after that the Ministry of Culture make it national. It's called Hristo G. Danov Prize Award. Hristo G. Danov is our first publisher in the 19th century, and it's on his name. He's from Plovdiv. And this prize is for prose, for children books, for bookshops, for publishers, for all players on the field or all the parts of the ecosystem. And because of this, it's really, really important. The second prize, the second is a, let's say, position, is Novel of the Year prize, which is for sure one of the prizes very important for Bulgarian context, and always the best novels of the year is in this prize. Actually, at 11th of May it will be given in Sofia. We're waiting, we'll see who will took it this year, but it's very important for me, especially for foreign publishers, this prize, Novel of the Year, as we know, for the international markets. Most of the publishers usually needs novels, uh, not short stories. I'm a huge fan of short stories, but everybody knows how difficult it is to sell short stories. And because of this, novel of the year is very important. The third prize, it's again national prize, is Perotto. Perotto Prize is given by the National Palace of Culture and the National Book Center, and this is the prize in different categories: prose, poetry, children books, debut, and for translation from Bulgarian into other languages. This is the unique prize that we have in Bulgaria for translation from Bulgarian into other languages. Of course, there is a lot of prizes named on our biggest names like Ivan Vazov, Jordan Radichkov, a lot of prizes like this. One of my favorite is Southern Spring Award. It's one of the oldest actually. It was founded in the 50s of 20th century, more than 70 years ago. And this is the prize for debut. You know how difficult it is for debut authors to be published and to make them known better. And of course, this prize was given to our biggest names, and it's always one of the most the prize that everybody wants to see, because it's the new name, the new we hope hero in our market and abroad, of course. Ivan Nikolov Prize is the other really important prize. This is the prize for poetry. Of course, we have a lot of prizes for poetry, but Ivan Nikolov is our only national prize, and it's something really special for all people who really like poetry. It's actually was founded by Božena Apostolova, the founder of Jeanette 45 Publishing House, the biggest publishing house for Bulgarian authors that we have. The other prize that we have is Elias Canetti. It's given by the foundation Elias Canetti. You know, Elias Canetti is the only Nobel Prize winner for literature involved with Bulgaria. He was born in Bulgaria, in Ruse. Of course, he's a German author, but of course, always there is a he lived in UK and etc. etc. A very cosmopolitan person. But the price is very, very important. It's biannual price. It's in every 2 years. The last but not least is the Helicon prize. Helicon was our oldest bookshop chains, and they still have them prize for more than 20 years. And it's very interesting for this prize that it's there is two prizes. One is the prize of the jury, as a critics. They nominated every month one book, and they have 12 nominations a year. And in December, they give the prize. But in April, in 23rd of April, the World Books Day, they give another prize, the prize of the readers. On these 12 nominations, they give the prize to the book who readers bought most. The readers vote with them, pockets, with them money, and they call this prize the Flower of Helicon, and they give it to the book who is best-selling from this list of 12 nomination books for all the year. Yep.
It's my time now to
You?
add on
Of course.
something, because now we are going to go to the main literary events that encompass, that our whole year encompasses, and Mr. Zhelev is going to overview all of them. But as a wrap-up of the book market and what kind of books are published and everything, I think it's important to make this remark that we had this in the 90s, right after the new period of democracy and after the end of the Cold War. We began publishing. We had this 10 to 12 years uprise of translating fiction from the big languages like Spanish. We caught up on Latin American, English, German, French literature that was not accessible for our region throughout the communism. Also, in terms of contemporary writers, Bulgarian writers, we had this outburst of experiment. Also, the lack of censorship led to new trends in language use in terms of plot and topics used. Then, at the beginning of this century, we already started being curious in terms of translations to smaller literature, smaller languages, our neighbors again, which probably inevitably led to such events like this one. And in terms of our own writers, we also somehow settled, became more peaceful, and started being curious to more down to earth approaches to publishing and literature. Also in terms of designs, covers, illustrations. And what is happening now, we only now begin, the young readers begin to be curious more to graphic novels, to comics. Comic books didn't make it that quickly and that effectively like in neighboring countries like Serbia and Romania. The last 2 or 3 years are...
Or Greece, even in Greece,
Yes.
the graphic novels and comics are really, really popular. But we don't have in our tradition, because in the socialist times it was pretty much, there is no tradition with the graphical novels and the comic books.
And also romantasy and fantasy are quite popular already, I think, especially the foreign romantasy and fantasy. The Bulgarians still read a lot of fiction. They read paper books and they read a lot of fiction, translated fiction, modern Bulgarian authors, I think historic novels as well. So let's see how they do that and how they get the books. I'm giving the floor back to Mr. Zhelev.
Yeah, it's some historical background. In the 90s, there was not any one bookshop. After the changes, because you know the bookshops was in the best trade streets of the cities, in the centers of the cities, and of course all of these bookshops became shops for lingerie or other goods or shoes, etc., etc. And there was a moment where there is no any one bookshop in Bulgaria. We sold books on the streets, in the small tables in the streets, and there is a place in Sofia called Slaveikov Square. This is on the name of one of our famous poets and writers from the 19th century, and his son, who is one of our greatest poets, where we made the book market, like a kind of a book. That was the place for books, like a big bookshop in outdoor. And that was really terrible period in the 90s. Of course, Helicon created his them first bookshop, etc., etc. Now you saw we have more than 600 bookshops all over the country. But it was a really, really terrible period. And because of this, for us, it's so important to speak about the book selling and how people reach actually the books. Of course, very important are the book fairs. They are organized by Bulgarian Book Association. This is Association of the Book Publishers and Booksellers in Bulgaria. And we have two major events. Of course, Sofia International Book Fair, which is in December. This year it will be between 8th and 13th of December. I really hope, and as we speak with Mr. Bakonakis, we'll have Greek stand there too. And there is near 200, pretty much all of the important publishing houses in the book fair, with growing international participations too. It's in the National Palace of Culture. You can see on the back side of the picture. This is the National Palace of Culture, where actually is the National Book Center. We are part of the National Palace of Culture, and it's on our book fair is in the 4 floors of the National Palace of Culture. And the other event is the spring. We call it the spring book market, a kind, which is outside of the palace. You can see on the picture, on the main street of Sofia. It's usually between 24th of May, the day of our alphabet and our literature, and 1st of June. But this year it will be from 1st to 7th of June. Again, more than 150 publishers took part in this event. And we have Alev books in different cities of Bulgaria. We have another one in Sofia in September, near to the first school day in Bulgaria, which is 15th of September. And we have in Plovdiv, Botevgrad, Varna, and other cities. Of course, we have some local events like this, like a small book fairs. But to reach the audience, of course, the most important thing is festivals where they can meet authors. And our biggest festival in Bulgaria is Sofia International Book Festival, Literary Festival, which is take the same time and place in the National Palace of Culture with Sofia International Book Fair in December. And we have, of course, some local but very important festivals like Plovdiv Reads.
Okay.
It's in June.
I'm lost with the slides.
Ah, sorry. No problem.
I'm
I'm pretty much not
Okay.
using the slides,
Okay,
but yeah, it's good. Plovdiv Reads, usually they have between 20 and 30 events every year in a week. And it's really beautiful to be there. The other very interesting, let's say, event, it's dedicated more to poetry. They call it close reading. It's all year events, but and a festival in the beginning of June too. And now, this year will be the third year of the new festival that was found in Burgas, in our seaside, the Black Sea International Literary Festival, which is the festival unites Bulgaria, Turkey, Georgia, Ukraine, and Romania. And we invite, because I'm one of the founders of the festival and art director of the festival, programming director. We invite writers, translators, publishers, literary professionals from all 5 countries. It's a group, something like between 60 and 70 people from all five countries. And we have readings, we have professional panels dedicated on a different topics, of course, the situation in our countries, our markets, the bigger problems of the book publishing in European or in the world level. From this year, we open it and we invite professionals and publishers from other countries. For example, Katarina Rabe from Zurkamp Publishing House will be part of the book fair, of the festival. Kukla McLaus from she was one of the legendary literary scouts from UK. And we'll have 2 very important professional on a international level. Anne Bergman-Tachon from the Chief Executive of the Federation of European Publishers. You could meet her here. She will be, I think, today or tomorrow, part of the professional program. Jessica Zanger, who will be part again in the program here. She will be in the festival because she is one of the most important person in the legal basis of the book publishing and all our creative industries. Of course, it was, but not least, the slogan of our festival is Black Sea Speaks Freedom. Because, you know, in almost all of the countries in the Black Sea region, freedom is a problem with the different, of course, levels of the problematic. You know, in Turkey there is one problems, in Georgia there is another, in Ukraine they have war, and of course in Romania and Bulgaria there is the third things. But the freedom is something really important for us. Yeah, and the other festival, it's again in Sofia, Sofia Literary Talks. It's one of my favorite festivals. It's take place spring and autumn in Sofia. Uh, they invite huge names in the literary field. For example, 2 years ago it was Olga Tokarczuk, part of the program. Last year it was Shihan Kuruntilaka, the Booker Prize winner, Maria Stepanova, the Chinese author Yu Hua. Really strong program. This year we have Paul Lynch, the Booker Prize winner, and the amazing Japanese writer Sayaka Murata. It's really strong, and they have professional program too, more involved with the festivals. This year, the part of the professional program was festivals like Passaporta in Brussels, or Edinburgh Literary Festival, Berlin International Literary Festival, Fabula Festival in Ljubljana, Slovenia. They work really amazing. Konrad Festival in Krakow, etc., etc. And I think for the festivals, it's pretty much enough, because as I've told in the press conference 2 days ago, the events like book fairs, international book fairs, or festivals, now it's became more and more important for all of us to meet each other, to become closer to each other, to start to know better each other in person, of course, to trust each other, and to create this so important connection. When we speak about creative industries, the personal connections are absolutely must.
Biggest literary festival for now stays the International Literary Festival during the book fair in December in Sofia. The book fair in December is still the biggest retail event for our whole publishing industry. And in 2024, we decided to try and do this together with the Book Association of Bulgaria. We established the literary fellowship we do. Sofia Literary Agency and the Book Association and the National Book Center and the Palace of Culture did that. As for the last 2 years, we've had more than 60 publishers attending the fellowship, like 50-50 of them come on their own initiative and expenses, and this is crucial for us and also emblematic that they would like to join, to explore, to establish international cooperations. And we go back very quickly after this, mentioning the tools to the recent translations that we've had in Greek. You can also, you're more than welcome to visit the Bulgarian national stand, where we have displayed not only the recent translations of Bulgarian authors in Greek, but also the Greek authors in Bulgarian published throughout the last few years on the Bulgarian market. We have mentioned a few titles that are also going to be presented throughout the whole event program, which we curated with our participation.
Yeah, you can find the program and the presentations of the authors here.
Mm-hmm. We will have in the program Elena Alexieva with a short story collection translated by Bulgorodna Filevska and published by Vakhikon. Rene Karabash with a new title that was just published 2 days ago, and it's not The She Who Remains book, a shortlisted title, but a short prose collection, Omar's Letters to His Future Wife, translated by Spiros Papas. The Crack-Up Island by Ina Volchanova, who is the UPL award winner for 2017. Why we always have a problem with this year? It's either you or me speaking, and we can never recover the year. Teodora Dimova, who is already known by the Greek readership with a few novels. The last one is I Don't Know You with Anna Stron, and again with Blagorodna Filevska. And you can also look for The Time Shelter, the International Booker Prize winner by Georgi Gospodinov with Icarus and Alexandra Ioannidou.
I've just saw the Gardener and the Dead. His last book was published in Greek, and the cover is absolutely amazing. I really fall in love with the cover of this book. I just saw in the Icarus stand.
And last but not least, Jana Bukova, who is also writing in Greek and speaks fluent Greek. She's going to join us tonight. You're more than welcome to join the opening of the Bulgarian stand, where she's going to recite poetry. And for all this to happen, fortunately or unfortunately, we need a few support channels for literary promotion, national channels, as we have specified a few useful links in the presentation, and we're going to touch upon them briefly. We always count on our international friends and partners from Creative Europe. ENLIT, Mr. Zhelev is a member of ENLIT through the National Book Center of Bulgaria, and the Ministry of Culture Bulgaria is also part of the Traduki network, the Balkan network for exchange between our countries and German. So we always count on that as well. The National Book Center of Bulgaria is every year is making We work to improve this program throughout the last years, as we have achieved brilliant results with terms and conditions and forms, application forms in English, but you still need a hand with someone to babysit you while you're getting, with the registration process and some kind of validations, because half of it is still in Bulgarian, but we are always here to help. And not only us, but also our friends and partners from the Next Page Foundation in Bulgaria, which is not a state or a governmental organization, but they've been active in our field for the last 20 years to support translators' residencies, workshops, conferences, scouting residencies and seminars. They're also part of the CELA network. They're the Bulgarian partner, and the ThinkPub project as well. They're super active, and also we work together in one direction. And of course, the already mentioned, the previously mentioned Elizabeth Kostova Foundation. You can check the websites and see what they do further. They're always nice contact point and info point as well. Sorry, you wanted to add something?
I just want to add something about the National Fund Culture, because I know because I used to be a publisher, how important is the supporting programs for translations. And in Bulgaria, unfortunately, now this is the only way to have a financial support for the translations. The problem is, especially in the last years, that we have, as you know, pretty much permanent political crisis, and in the last 3 years we don't have budget till July, and because of this they couldn't open the programs before July, and this year, unfortunately, again it will be the same, and again the program will be opened maybe in July, and you could apply till beginning of September or something like this. The program usually give something like 170,000 euros supporting books, and they give support up to 15,000 euros, depend of the projects. Yes, it's not easy to fulfill the documents for many reasons. One of the reasons is that the translation program is part of all other programs of the National Fund Culture, which is actually only for Bulgarians, for Bulgarian organizations who could apply. But this program is different. It's still working as other programs, and because of this, we have this problems on the application process. But anyway, we trying to survive it and make everything to make it easier and different from other documents. But please apply. Please apply, because this is important and this is the message. Of course, to the politicians, no, to the politicians, how important it is to have support to our literature and to growing this support.
I need to fix a mistake because I saw Brazil instead of Brazilian, so I closed the presentation and fixed it. As a closing line, closing remark, I just wanted to mention a slide we missed on purpose, and it's we've seen growing number of translations throughout the last 3 years, as we're happy to announce between 50 and 70 titles published in foreign languages every year, and this is thanks to a result thanks to the collective effort of organizations, the ones that we mentioned, the Next Page Foundation, the Elizabeth Kostova, the Book Center, the Book Association, private initiatives. So it's an ecosystem we believed we managed to somehow make work together. Bulgarian titles have been translated and published, as we mentioned, in over 30 languages, as we are very happy to have the first novels, Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov, now Karabash last year, and next year hopefully one historic novel by Viktor Paskov, hitting the shelves in Sweden, sold the first titles ever after 50 years of silence. Also children's books after more than 60 years of silence in Croatia and Albania. Bulgarian authors Petja Kukudeva, Zornica Hristeva got published. And also the ever first Bulgarian translations in Brazilian and some Indian languages, which is quite an achievement for us because they were never read before in those languages. Here we've quoted the sources. I managed to collect some information for this presentation because for our region, obviously, it's still quite difficult with statistics, and when you need to show some figures, how many books are published, what is the annual revenue, what are the languages, what is the number even of Greek translations in Bulgarian, it's still a struggle to quote, to find exact data. And we thank you for your attention, for your patience, for listening to us. Maybe a few minutes if you have any questions or remarks.
Thank you so much. I have something on the last. Yeah. Could be a bridge to the next talk about the children books in Bulgaria. I've missed with the purpose one of the prizes, our biggest prize for the children books, for the children literature, Konstantin Konstantinov Prize, which is for us, there is a festival dedicated on the children books. It's in the city of Sliven, from where is Konstantin Konstantinov. And this is our best prize for children books. As I told you, we have in the Peroto Prize category and in the our national prize, Hristo Gedanov, but Konstantin Konstantinov Prize is dedicated only on children books. Yeah, this is the other message from me. Please look at on these prizes and the information because it's important. It's really important to bring you the best books. And of course, our translators. They are our bridge, our ambassadors, our advocates of any national, all national literatures. We are really proud of them. We are really grateful to them because one of our translators into Spanish, Reinaldo Perez Vasquez, once said that there is a lot of exotic ways to suicide, and to be a translator from Bulgarian is one of them. But of course now it's different. It was 15 years ago, let's say. But as you see, of course, with the International Booker Prize of Georgi Gospodinov and another so much prizes like Jan Michalski, Angelus, Strega, etc., etc. And of course now with the René Karabash, She Who Remains, which is in the short list for Booker International, waiting for the 19th of May. Cross your fingers, please. Yeah. For the 19th of May, and a lot of writers like Teodora Dimova, Elena Alexieva, and Todor Todorov really make a great job. You could meet them. Please come to our stand on in the events of Bulgarian program. And I really again wants to thank to the Greek Foundation for Books and Culture, personally to Mr. Bakonakis, to Kelly, to Panayotis, all people who really make this happen. It's a dream for me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
and visit Bulgaria, of course.
Okay. No questions, no objections, no remarks.
If
Any
there is a
objections,
question, we are
remarks?
absolutely.
Complaints?
Yeah.